Hey guys, it's about time you kicked out negativity out of your life. It's about time you get it out of charge of your life and let positivity rule the rest of your life. I mean, we have really allowed negativity for too long, such that it is destroying our lives. And it's about time that we let positivity. You see what happens with negativity. You have that job interview and you thought you nailed it and you are so sure, and you are even hoping in your heart, you are believing and you are confessing that job is mine and all that. And then the moment you don't get it, somehow for some reason you don't get that interview or you don't get that job, and then that sets the rest of your year or the rest of your life or the rest of the few months ahead, and you become discouraged. You start being so negative. You start now watching the news. Hey, the world, it's unemployment rate is at, I don't know, 15% right now. And then you start, if you're a boss, you had targets for your business. At least you thought by the first quarter you'd have attained or have reached certain goals or certain targets, that is in terms of revenue and profits, but somehow you've not reached that. And then you watch, you're like, hey, the world is in a recession. People are not spending anymore. People are poor, people are returning their cash, or there's no money circulation anymore. So you start doubting yourself, and you start accepting conformity, and you start accepting that reality of failure in your life. But it's about time that we don't let negativity rule the rest of the year or the rest of the months or the rest of our lives, because that's where we go wrong. You see, the word states it clearly that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And the word of God is very clear also in different verses. There's nowhere in the Bible you'll find discouragement. There's nowhere in the Bible where you'll find God saying, say you're weak. If you're weak, just be honest, say you're weak. You know, sometimes we like saying that hey, don't bury your head in the sand and pretend like the world is not in a tough time right now. You know, we start saying don't bury our heads in the sand, or start saying you have to live in the reality. It's true. But then the word of God says, if you're weak, say you're strong. So even when you're feeling weak, you should say you're strong. If you're sick, you're healed by the stripes of Jesus Christ. You're blessed with all heavenly blessings. You are above and not below. You're first and not last. You know, so the moment we start focusing on the positive, and it's about time that we started focusing on the positive. Let no negativity anywhere direct your life for the rest of the months, you know, because we usually do this, you know, little by little, we let the negativity creep in, and then all of a sudden we find, wow, it's end year and I didn't achieve any targets that I had or any goals that I had for that year. Let me tell you something. You see, the moment the COVID pandemic came, there are many people who would say right now, and I've heard some of them say 2020 and 2021 were the best years yet, you know, and you wonder, where was I? Where were you when these people were making a killing in their businesses, or they were succeeding in their lives? Where was I? Where were you? How comes them they were able to make a killing, or they were able to be successful in the two most difficult years in our lifetime? That is, no, you see, for us who weren't there during the Great Recession in the 1920s there, but for now, we can actually, after now, at least we can attest to the 2008-2009 recession, but it wasn't as big as the Great Recession. So the moment the COVID pandemic came, and indeed things were really tough, shops were closed, businesses were closed, there was no money, and people were just there, you know, everything came into a standstill. But you find there were people who really succeeded in those years, those 2 years, especially between 2020 to 2021 or 2022. There are people who really thrived during the years. So what happened? What's the difference between these two people? One of them decided to be positive, you know, and the other decided to wallow in the negativity. You watch the news right now and you're so discouraged. You're like, you know what? Everyone is suffering. Let me just accept this is the reality we are in right now. So it's about time, guys. Don't let negativity ever again to take the wheel of your life. Be positive instead. And what better way to be positive than to read the word of God? It's the best encouragement in the whole world. Don't watch the news, what the people are saying, how the reality is in the world. You know, there was a time in the Bible, there was a drought, a very bad drought. And somehow Isaac planted. During the drought, there was no rains. He planted and he made a huge harvest. So what happened? God was on his side. God helped him. So if you remain positive and if you use this small tiny part of your body, the mouth, and your mindset is set to positivity, you're able to conquer anything, you're able to do anything. They are very small parts of our bodies, but they are able to impact us. So how about we put negativity aside? And I know none of us is stupid that we don't know what is positive and what is negative. We know very well what is positive and we know very well what is negative. So every time a negative thought comes to your mind, or something happens to you, you're unable to get a job, you're unable to maybe you have someone you're praying God so hard for them to change, or whatever circumstances out there that you really need a breakthrough, and you find things are not going as you would wish them to. Hold on, because God is able. If anything, God says that ask me and it shall be given to you. He says that if you ask and believe, that thing is yours, it shall be yours. So there's nowhere in the Bible you'll hear that if you ask, it will depend with the economy of that time. It will depend with the atmosphere of the era or you'll be in, and then I'll fulfill or not based on this. The only limitation, or the only thing that God really, for us we think it's a limitation. He only says if it's in accordance to his will. And what's God's will? It's usually the best for us. So don't let your year be ruined by negativity. Kick negativity out. A mishap happens. Don't let it control the rest of the month or the rest of the few months to come or the rest of the year. Shove it aside, bring positivity back in charge of your life. So that's all. Get to share with your friends. Let them be as positive as possible. Don't let negativity take charge over your life. It's time positivity took the wheel over your life. Say you're strong if you're feeling weak. Say you're blessed with all heavenly blessings. Say you're fast and not last. Your God's righteousness in Jesus. He has given you co-shares with God, with Jesus. Everything that is his is also yours. Our Father is great. There is nothing that is impossible with you. Put positivity in charge of your life, and we will see that this year things will really, really transform. So that's all, friends. I'm really glad that you've watched. I hope you get to watch more of the videos. I hope you get to look forward for new videos, upcoming videos that will be uploaded later. And I hope you get to share with your friends. Let them be positive. Let them know the truth about God, because there is no better way for us to be encouraged this year or any other time or any other year than encouragement in the Word of God, because it's the only non-seeking foundation that has ever been there and that will ever be there. Years to come, it's still the only firm foundation that is there. So that's all, guys. Do subscribe if you've not. Bye, guys.